off, I want to welcome everybody. Again, my name is Matthew Kameniak, and I'm checking in from just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Folks calling in all over the world. If I didn't get a chance to personally welcome you, let me do so now. Heard a lot of voices I recognize, and a few that I didn't quite, but before I turn it over to our host here, I want to say thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to serve you guys this morning. But we have a very unique call for you, a very special one today, and I think there's no better person we could bring out front and center to lead this, because he is a true servant leader, not only in this business but throughout the industry, and he is a true professional marketer. It's my pleasure to bring him out front and center to you right now. Mr. Aaron Rashkin checking in from Denver, Colorado. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing tremendous, man. Anytime I'm in your space, I'm doing better.
Fantastic. Yeah, I got a little sidetracked. I was at the Broncos and the New York Jet game late last night, watching Tim Tebow win the game for the Broncos here. So I'm just getting started here in the morning. Got to spend a few minutes with our family like we do every morning, having breakfast and getting together with the kids and my amazing life partner, wife, and best friend, Sophia, who's going to be out here on the call here in just a moment. But how are you doing today, my friend? How are you feeling?
Doing tremendous. Got up, got a workout in today, watched a beautiful sunrise. Got a lot of stuff kicking this morning, got a bunch of work done already, and like I said, just looking forward to hanging out with you for a little bit.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, it's great to have you on the call with me. Send our best to Christine, and I want to welcome all of our members and especially our guest today. For those of you that have never been on a call like this, this is the Pro Elite call to action. For those of you that have now completed an application, we want to welcome you to our community. You've now taken the very first step in getting close to the most successful and longest standing online community of internet entrepreneurs in the world. And we're just real people, just like you. We're normal, everyday people that you see out while you're doing errands or spending time with your family or friends and just out and about in your hometown. We're just average, everyday people that found this community, not too long ago. Some of us just within a few months, a few days, maybe even a few years. And we saw an opportunity here to not just, impact our own lives, but the lives of everybody that we were able to touch, and both directly and indirectly. And several years ago, my wife and I were looking for a new way to make money. I have to assume that you're in the same position right now as well. And we came across Carbon Copy Pro and Pro Elite, which literally was the most powerful vision for us. We were looking for something new to really change the quality of our lives. And with me in speaker mode, riding shotgun, I have my amazing wife and life partner and business partner here, Sophia. So, Sophia, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for having me out.
Well, great. Yeah, it was about a little over 3 years ago for us, just a couple months ago, that we found Pro, and maybe you can just share a little bit about, what happened and, how we kind of came across this unexpectedly and what's happened for us since.
Yeah, lots have changed, right? I'll just talk a little bit about the fact that your background, you were a personal trainer, and I was a real estate broker. And so when the two of us met and we wanted to expand our family, we wanted to do it being at home with our two boys. And so you and I, we got started in a very traditional MLM business. I know that we were both taught how to make a list and contact our friends, and they had no interest in our business or our product. We did lots of home parties, over 40 home parties when I was pregnant with Legend, our second child. We also did hotel meetings, passed out CDs and brochures, and we also made hundreds of cold calls on a daily basis. And, after 5.5 years of doing that together, we weren't making the kind of income that would keep us both at home. We had two mortgages, 2 cars, and a family of 4, and that wasn't going to pay for it. And, after our second child was 4 months, I think both of us looked on the Internet and wanted to do something completely different. Now, neither one of us had any online marketing skills, but we did have huge desire to change our situation and be at home with our 2 boys. So we found Pro and got an application, and then immediately got a black box as well. and we got right to work. We followed the system to a T and did everything the seven-figure income earners in this community that are in the trenches on a daily basis just did everything that they taught us how to do. And so within our second month, we made over 5,400. By our fourth month, we made over 11,000, and by our fifth month, we had made 40,000 in 1 month. And I know you and I got really excited because that was the kind of income that we'd make in a year, not in 1 month. And so that went on and completely changed our lives because we've made that much and more on a monthly basis. It made both of us seven-figure income earners at home, and completely changed our lives in the fact that we are parents that stay at home, do everything around our two boys' schedules. We're always together at our children's activities at school. We travel the world, take them with us, and take a nanny with us when we want. We pretty much make decisions at the snap of a finger, and we have that peace of mind because we don't have to check our account or checkbook to see what's in it. We can make decisions very, very easily, and it's been incredible with our investment portfolio as well, and just most importantly to be able to mentor others and assist others as well in making their very first dollar online to even six figures on a monthly basis with some of them.
Yeah.
And that's changed their lives and their relationships with their families as well. So not only that, but obviously we've been able to give back in other ways that have been near and dear to us through charitable means as well. So with that, Aaron, that's where we are, and it's still just the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah. I chuckle here because it feels like we're just getting started. There's just so much excitement and just so many great things happening here in the pro community. And, for all of our listeners, all of our guests on the line, we want to share this with you. This is not a scripted call. We are, like I said, just real people just running a business from home, our computers, our telephones, connected with, hundreds, even thousands of people around the world. See, Pro Elite's a company that's reached as far as 200 countries over the last several years. And the company's history is real simple. It's a 6.5, I believe, almost 7-year-old company. Started out as Carbon Copy Marketing back in 2004 when the chief marketing officer and founder of Pro Elite, Mr. Jay Kubasek, had a vision to create a system for average, ordinary people that want to work from the comfort and the safety of their own home, from their computers and telephones, and to be able to build a business on the Internet using some very simple strategies repeated over time, which will lead them to success. And sure enough, we were led right into this community, as have tens of thousands of other people from all around the world. And what we have for you today, gang, is we want to bring some of our members here in the pro community out onto the call with us so that they, too, can share a little bit about who they are, what their background is, how they got started here in the pro community, and what's happened to them ever since. And our aim is to get you off this line here in the next 20, 22 minutes, right at the top of the coming hour. We know you have a lot of commitments, a lot of obligations, a lot of other things that you have, I'm sure, here on a Friday morning in the United States. If you're calling in from overseas or international guests, welcome. We are sure that there's other things that you could be doing, namely getting your business started. So that being said, I want to go out there and ask who from the pro community, gang, would like to jump out this morning and share their story today.
Hi, Aaron. It's Simon in the UK.
Cameron, okay, I heard a couple of voices there. So let's go across the big pond over to our good friend Simon in the UK. How you doing this morning, Simon?
I'm great, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Just getting a slow morning here, but yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay, cool. Well, my background is pretty straightforward. I used to sell IT software solutions to banks, and I did so for well over 15 years until, well, basically what happened, although I had been planning to leave my job for quite some time, the rug was kind of pulled under from me because the whole banking crisis that set in with the collapse of Lehman Brothers and other things basically meant that my sales forecast disappeared overnight, and it was not long after that my job disappeared as well. I'd already decided before that happened though, that I wanted to find another way of making money. I'd already become sick and tired of flying out across Europe to the main banking centres, spending from what was basically Sunday evening, because I'd have to fly out the night before for a meeting on Monday morning, and then really not getting home till Friday afternoon. So I was weekend dad, and I saw my eldest son grow up. The first steps he ever took, the first time he started crawling. I saw that on video messages that my wife used to send me, and I have to admit now, after the event, that I was insanely jealous and a bit resentful that she got to see those kind of things, and I was missing out. And that sort of thing starts to eat away at you week in, week out when you're not there. So I'd already made a decision that I wanted to leave, and I guess I took the opportunity of losing my job. I can't say I quit, I fired my boss or anything like that, because that didn't happen. But I took the opportunity to go and find other ways online. Now I lost my job in November 2008, and just after that Christmas, which was a pretty dire one, I spent the best part of 9 months until I actually came across Pro in September of '09. In the interim period, I tried pretty much everything you could try to make money online. Everything from spread betting, foreign exchange trading, trading on commodities and stocks, you name it. If you could make money online, I had done it. I had probably spent lots of money on training courses on it, on software, and by the end of that time, combined with the cost of living because I'd lost my income, I found Pro, and I was in a position where I was £70,000 in debt, which is about $110,000. Not in a good place, and really looking for something that was not going to try and upsell me, not just be interested in taking my cash. And that was what I saw as a big differentiating factor between Pro and everything else I'd come across. There was a lot of transparency. The community was very open, and that made a massive difference, because here I was, basically last chance saloon, I guess, was the best description. But there I was, trying to make any kind of business work online, still trying to desperately hold true to my decision that I didn't want to go back into a 9-to-5 job. And here were Pro showing me exactly what worked, what didn't work. And all I had to do was follow the system, be teachable and trainable and coachable, and just basically put the work in and put the hours and the graft in that was necessary to make that work. And obviously, the fact that I'm stood here talking now is testament that, yes, it absolutely did work. For me, what that's meant is that I've achieved my original goal of being able to replace a six-figure income with this business. And it's not about the money. That wasn't why I was doing it. If it was about money, I could have just gone and got another job. It was about being able to spend quality time with my kids, being able to be there at the Christmas concert without having to beg and hope that I could get the time off work, being able to be there at sports days without having to run off. I often laugh, when you're at sports events now, and this last summer just gone, you see all the people that come in with their ID tags hung around their neck, and then as soon as their son or daughter's race is finished, they're dashing off again because they've got to get back to the office. And it's that kind of stuff and the interaction with my kids that's meant more than money could ever buy. And that's the power of running a business where you call the shots and you work on your own terms and at your own pace, and basically decide who and where you're going to spend your time with. And with that, Aaron, I'm going to pass it over to someone else and let someone else share their experience.
Yeah, absolutely, Simon. You said so many great things, but I want to pull out what you just said at the very tail end of sharing there. You get to spend the time with the people who matter most and do the things that you really want to do. That's, I'm sure, why most of our guests are here on the call today. Sure, the money's great. You make, whatever kind of income you're looking for, but it's the time freedom. There's a formula that we talk about here in the Pro community, Simon, because we've seen so many people be able
Absolutely.
to actually achieve this. It's financial freedom comes with time. Well, financial freedom leads to time freedom, and then time freedom leads to relationship freedom. And that's where you get to pick and choose who you spend your time with and how you spend your days. So thanks for jumping out, Simon. Appreciate you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the afternoon there over in the UK. Great. Gang, who else is here on the line with us that wants to jump out and share what's happened to them since they became a part of Pro Elite?
Cameron here in Whistler.
Cameron in Whistler. Okay, we have an international call today. This is great. Cameron, jump on out here, my friend. How are you today?
Hey, Aaron, I'm doing great. Nice and early here on the West Coast.
Super. Yeah, understand what that's like, but we want to make sure we get a hold of everybody here so that we can share no matter where they're calling in from. We have people on the line from all around the world.
Awesome, for sure. Yeah, it's a beautiful morning here in Whistler. The the ski hill actually opens today, so looking forward to that. I'll be short and quick here. I know there's some other people on the line. My name's Cameron George. I'm 23 years old, and I currently live here in beautiful Whistler, British Columbia. I got started with Pro back in September of 2009. Before that, I was actually a construction worker, and I was trying to basically build a traditional MLM business part-time, and I was I was struggling to say the least, like I guess most people who are building an MLM business. I mean, I was being taught things like how to make lists of my friends and family, how to cold call people. I was being sold $100 company leads. Kind of the last straw that really broke the camel's back that kind of had me lash out and start looking for some help was the company actually tried to get me to go do weight loss challenges. And I mean, I was like 130 pounds at the time. Who was I to tell someone they needed to lose weight? But anyway, I was basically pulling my hair out, and I came online. I was looking for some help, really reaching out. And I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to stumble across Pro initially. I was stumbling around online. I mean, I didn't know what to look for. I didn't know who to trust. I basically ended up spending, quite honestly, tens of thousands of dollars trying different things from SEO blog networks and various things, trying to learn this whole thing of internet marketing before I was lucky enough to stumble across Pro. And quite honestly, when I stumbled across Pro, I didn't really know what I really had in front of me at the time. But after really filling out an application, really feeling out the community, and getting plugged in, I basically kind of really had my eyes open to an entirely different world of really possibility and what could really be accomplished and achieved online with really the right guidance. And I mean, I plugged into the community. I took advantage of the tools, of the training, of really all of the resources that we have in front of us and what all of the 6- and 7-figure earners are really telling you to do. And with their help, in just my 4th month, I was actually able to replace my construction income. And I actually became a full-time internet marketer. And in just my 6th month, I actually went on to make more in a single month than I actually used to make an entire year at my construction job, doing as much as $23,000 in just 3 days of that month. And honestly, for me, Pro, it's been completely life-changing. Now I'm able to just work from just a laptop and a cell phone. I've been traveling all over the world this year. I lived over in Thailand for 3 months. I was down in Malaysia for a bit. I was in New York. And the whole time I was in Malaysia, I mean, I was running my business from the beach. That's literally what this business has meant for me until when I got home from there is when I actually came up here to Whistler. And for me, Pro, it's been completely life-changing. I know I wouldn't have been able to do or accomplish any of this had it not been for the guidance that Pro really offered me. So I know what it's been able to do in my life. I know what it can do for anybody else who's really going to pay attention and really take advantage of the opportunity, of the guidance, of the knowledge that's really in front of them. And I know what it can do for anyone who's really willing to take it seriously.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, you mentioned so many great things there, Cameron, and one thing that really strikes me, and I'm sure so many of our guests on the line would probably love to be able to do this as well. You said that you worked from your laptop at the beach, and you were able to travel all over the world and literally just generate income from your laptop and your cell phone, I'm sure. And that, my friend, is called geographical freedom. That's when you don't have to be in an office, you're not tethered to a desk, and you can literally pick up and go whenever you want. And that freedom that I think most people are looking for is something that so many of our members here in Pro have already found. So congratulations on your success, Cameron. It's a pleasure to have you out, and I appreciate you sharing this morning.
Thank you.
You bet. All right, gang. Well, we have about 10 more minutes on the line here, and before we wrap up, let's see if there's any other Pro members on the line that want to jump out and share their story.
Joseph from Jersey.
Okay, I heard a couple of voices out there. I'll take the big voice that I heard first. I heard my friend Justin out in Jersey. Justin, what's happening this morning, my friend?
Aaron Rashkin, how you doing today? Can you hear me loud and clear, brother?
Loud and clear, my friend. What's happening over there in Jersey?
I just enjoyed my morning. I got back from the gym. I was walking my dogs, and then me and my lady are strategizing what we're going to do for the weekend. We got the holidays coming up, but life's grand. But it wasn't always that way, Aaron. And you were talking about geographical freedom, and it wasn't that way for me. I actually had an office that was 1.5 miles from my house, as ironic as that is, and it was devastating. My background was in the mortgage business, and I was running an office 1.5 miles away from my house, but I was tied to the office and spending 70 to 80-hour work weeks to build my business. And I thought it was about this notion of being an entrepreneur and having other people work for you, and it was a nightmare. I mean, I did well. Don't get me wrong. Success, it was good at one point in time. Everyone knows the real estate market was great. And then the recession hit, and I don't know if, people, you have to know what happened in 2007 in the summer. I mean, banks were going under left and right. The real estate market started to crash, and I was literally watching my business just disappear right in front of me. And in that space, I foreclosed on my house. Lost all my income, had my electric turned off, I watched my black 2007 Cadillac Escalade get repossessed out of my driveway. And I had, at the age of 31, my mom buying me groceries. So that's how bad it got for me. And in that space, I found Pro. Ironically, it's like, I guess because I was looking for it, right? In April 2009, I landed on a website. I went through the process. I applied. And I was like, this is something different. I've never seen anything like this before. What is it? And I did some digging, got on a call like this, and took action. Followed the steps. I went from a construction worker to a mortgage broker. Knew nothing about this business. Completely ignorant. I was ignorant about myself. I'll be the first one to tell you. I thought that an $800,000 house and an Escalade and nice clothes were what my identity was about. I was pathetic. I didn't understand it. That's what success was to me. It was like ego driven. I didn't get it. That's why I lost it all. But I learned the most valuable lesson in my life. And now, do I have a successful business? Yeah, I followed steps. I followed people who have done it before, so I can eliminate those obstacles. And I took action. My main thing was my reasoning for taking action. It was very easy for me to take the proper steps because I had nothing in my life. And now I enjoy my time where, I can hang out with my dad. He's, about 71. I love spending my time with him. I can walk my dogs, go hiking, and I golf. I love to golf, but it's about having that time freedom. That's what Pro means to me, the ability to choose. But thank you for letting me share, bud.
Yeah, absolutely, Justin. Great to hear your story. You said so many great things as well. What strikes me the most, and I'm sure it really captures the attention of our guests listening in that are looking at getting started here, is the freedom, the choices that you have. Being able to spend time with your parents, your fiance, Jeanette. I mean, I know what your life is like, Justin. I know what kind of flexibility that you have and the choices and the ability to just literally do what you want, when you want, with whom you want. And that's what being an entrepreneur in the pro elite space is all about. And it just kind of puts a smile on my face. Like I mentioned earlier in the call, we're just real people running a real business from the comfort and safety of our own homes. I look out the window here in my home office and I see my neighbors going to work. They have to be out the door by 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. We live in a very snowy place called Colorado. We get dumped on sometimes a foot or two of snow. I see my neighbors shoveling out or snow blowing out, early in the morning so they can get to work on time to punch their clock or perhaps, sit at a desk all day. And, we're here with our boys like you are at home with Jeanette and and your pups. And I know you get to get out every morning and spend time with your dogs. And if that's what success means to somebody on the line, well, that's possible here. So, Justin, thanks for jumping out and just being an amazing lead by example, I call you, Justin. Lead by example, Justin. So thanks for being here, my friend. Great story.
You got it, bud. Thanks.
All right, super. We have time for another one or two more people. Who else would like to jump out this morning and share their story today?
Matthew in Albuquerque.
Matt in Albuquerque. Yep, we heard your voice early on, taking introductions. Thanks for getting everybody set up here. And I want to acknowledge you for being such a huge contributor to the community. I know you and your wife, Christine, have an amazing story, so why don't you jump out and take a few minutes and share that with us.
Appreciate it. Thanks very much. She's actually joining me here on the line. Want to thank everybody for taking time to kind of hear, and Mr. Aaron and Rashkin and Sophia for letting us jump out here. Well, Christine and I actually came from a home business background, kind of a consulting business, more of a corporate-type business that we started back in 1999, which had what we thought was a successful 10-year run until we started, about 3 years ago, I think is what it was. It was March 24th, 2009. When we realized that we pretty much lost control of our lives. We had literally become, just roommates. We were ships passing in the night. We were coexisting in our house. We had this business, but it sucked up all our time. It never let us do anything, and we were literally on a path of personal destruction, and we made a decision that we were going to make a change. We knew people were out making money online. It was a passive income where they're getting their time back. They're getting their freedom. It's not that we didn't want to work. We were used to working hard. But, like a lot of people out there, we just didn't know where to get the skills. So I started looking. I had a talk with Christine. I said, we need to find something different. So I started really digging into looking. And it was like a dime a dozen. And then I came across Pro Elite, and I immediately called Christine over to the computer. And I said, you need to look at this. And she spent about 5 minutes looking over my shoulder. I'm staring at the spot in the house where I used to have my home office set up, and I can still picture her staring over. She had a ponytail. We had just, got back from working out, and she looked at it, and she told me, that looks interesting. And she proceeded to walk back over to where her office was and get ready for her day. And, well, that, in my world, was buy it. And that's probably one of the best, if not the best, marital miscommunications we've ever had. And I think she'll probably agree because I know she's on the line here. And Christine, what do you want to add to that?
No, this is pretty much a good sum up of the story. Just that, I was so focused on my business at the time. As much as I wanted out and wanted a better way, when you're caught up in it, when you're caught up in the day-to-day stuff, it's sometimes hard to, put on the brakes and really focus. And that's where I was at. And, thank God you put on the brakes enough to, really get out there and search for us because, I wasn't in that space at the time. So it was a great miscommunication.
Yeah. I thank God every single day for the blessed life we lead. We're literally living a life of true time freedom now. Yeah, we still work our business, and people sometimes look at fun when I tell them, I was working at 8 o'clock last night. They look at me like, well, that's not time freedom. I said, yeah, but I didn't do anything the rest of the day. I got up and I worked out, and I spent the rest of the day with my wife, and then I worked for a little bit at 8 o'clock at night. And that's the type of a business we have here. Yesterday we were helping my parents get something remodeled on their house, making sure it was done while they're on vacation. So we were working remotely from their house on an iPhone. There's no other business in the world that gives you that opportunity as well as teaches you the skill sets. And that's the most important part, the teaching, the mentoring, the support, the community. That's one of the main reasons why we've been able to accomplish what we've been able to do here. So, that's pretty much our story in a nutshell. Christine, unless you have anything to add, we'll turn it back over to Aaron.
No, just out of respect to make sure that we get everyone out of here in time, I'm going to go ahead and shoot it back over to you, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks so much, Christine, Matt. Great to hear you guys, your story. I love listening to you share your story about, the miscommunication, the marital miscommunication that, could have cost the world. Think about it. If Matt, you had listened to Christine, where you might have been today, right?
Exactly.
It's a great thing. Here's what's so great about it is that you get to work. You mentioned, you get to work when you want. You put in an hour or two here or there, and see, for all of our guests listening on the line, we have power in our system that employs what's called leverage and automation. And that means that your business can run 24/7 while you're not even present to it. In other words, you can be making money while you're on vacation, spending time with your spouse, spending time with your kids. If you're sick, I remember one month, Matt, where I had a week where I had the flu and was unable to be at my desk, my computer, even talk on the telephone. And sure enough, we were able to generate tens of thousands of dollars, whether or not we showed up in our business or not. And sure enough, by doing the right things, you get those kind of results. But, Matt, your story, Christine, your story, that fantastic to watch it develop and get bigger and better, and the people that you're influencing all around the world. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming out here this morning. Super. Well, gang, like I mentioned, work when you want, where you want, with whom you want. That's the part that we're really emphasizing here, the whom you want to work with. And see, our guests on the line, are folks that have already completed a Pro Elite application. I want to share with you before we wrap up just a final thought here, and to put a little thought into your air. You've already separated yourself from the rest of the people who have taken a look at Pro Elite over the last several weeks and months. You have completed a Pro application. You've now been approved to become a member of this community. Your next step is to actually take that next step. In other words, become a member. The first thing that you'll be doing moving forward is to pick up your Pro Elite Black Box. Now, the Pro Elite Black Box is a comprehensive physical version. You can get it online, or you can get it shipped directly to you. It's a physical product that's shipped directly to you. It's a comprehensive training on both the mindset of a home-based internet entrepreneur, as well as a manual on the skill sets that it requires. And it comes with a whole bunch of information, a bunch of free bonuses and downloads. And it's really the guide. I would call it the Bible to home-based internet marketing success. And literally tens of thousands of people around the world have been able to get a copy of their Carbon Copy and Pro Elite Black Box. And the very next step for you is to become a member by picking up that Black Box. And I will always, share with you that this business is not for everybody. Okay, this business is not for everybody. This business is for people who truly have the desire to be self-employed and perhaps maybe even just supplement their income. You don't have to go full-time right away. You can, start part-time. And, someday when your part-time business exceeds, the income of your full-time job, you could make that choice to walk away. But this business is for people who have a tremendous desire to be successful working for themselves from the comfort and the safety of their own home. This business is for people who are, like we heard so many of our members talk about, who are coachable and teachable. In other words, you can follow directions. You can follow the instructions in our step-by-step setup guide to get your business up and running quickly and efficiently. So, of course, you have to be willing to learn and work well with others. And then the third thing is that you've got to be willing to put forth the effort. It's not hard. It's simple to do. Okay, but again, you have to take those action steps. So again, if you have a desire to be successful, you're coachable and you're teachable, and you're willing to put forth the effort, your very next step is to pick up your Carbon Copy Pro Black Box. What you'll want to do is get back to the person who referred you to this call. You can look for an email from them. There's probably links in your inbox right now. You can certainly go, get back to the person and make a phone call, get your questions answered, and just make the decision. Make the choice to make the change, because that's what this is all about. The one thing we know that all of you are here for, same thing that all of us got started in Pro for, same reason that so many tens of thousands of people around the world have embarked on this journey with us, is because they were looking for change. They wanted to pay off some bills, maybe get out of debt, maybe take some financial pressure off themselves, take back total control of their finances, their freedom, and their time. And if that's you, our special guest on the line, make the decision, make the choice to join us. Jump in, the water's fine. Your next step is to pick up your Carbon Copy Pro Elite Black Box. So that being said, I want to thank all of our special members who jumped out here this morning. First, my amazing wife and life partner, business partner, Sophia, and of course Simon, Cameron, Justin, and then of course Christine and Matt, who jumped out there at the tail end of our call. You guys, appreciate your input today, and we want to welcome you to the Pro Elite community. Once again, this is Aaron Rashkin on behalf of the entire community here at Pro. Welcome aboard. Get back to whoever invited you to this call today, and we look forward to welcoming you aboard the team and hearing you on our very first live caller webinar. This is a wrap, everybody. Make it a great day. Take care.